Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1042. Happy Wednesday. Happy trash day. Hope you have your trash at the curb. Also, recycling day here. I was happy. For some reason, actually, this is common. Our recycling was like overflowing, and I had boxes on the side. I had like one track. Like yesterday, I went to throw. I had a bag of garbage down here, and I went to throw that in the garbage bin, and there was like only one bag. I'm like, how in the hell did we go the entire week with one bag of garbage? And we had people here. We had guests in the house. How does that happen? I don't know. So I snuck some. My wife gets very upset if I put recyclables in the garbage. So I put some recyclables in the garbage because I didn't have space in the recycle bin. What's it gonna hurt? Put a couple cardboard boxes in the trash can. What's it gonna hurt? So there's some cardboard in the trash can. So good morning. Guess what I had for dinner last night? Golden Grams. I just all day yesterday. I was a little hungover. My wife goes, "You a little hungover today?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a little tired." She goes, "You were snoring." I'm like, "Yeah, that happens." She goes, "I tried to wake you up. You were passed out. Do you remember me hitting you?" No. So, wife not happy. Um, so I wasn't. That's probably why. It's probably why I just didn't feel like eating was because it's a little hungover. What I have for lunch, I don't think I ate lunch. I think I just kind of grazed. You ever do that? Just graze, just snack all day. That's like your meals, snacks. That was yesterday for me. But we don't, I need to go grocery shopping because we don't have much food here. We have a lot of snacking food. We just don't have. I guess I have Hot Pockets. I could do Hot Pockets. And then I've got some of those like, they're not Swanson, they're like Healthy Choice or something. Those are good lunchtime meals. So I had Golden Grams. Oh, I had popcorn for lunch. That's what I had. I had some Orville Redenbachers. I am an Orville Redenbachers fan. I think it's Orville Redenbacher. What's the other one? There's like three, at least at the grocery store I go to, there's like three brands of microwave popcorn. And I've tried them all. And I've come to the conclusion that the Orville Redenbachers is the best. And so that's the one I've been getting. There's one of the brands like burns really easy. I can't remember what brand that was, but at least in my microwave, like this Orville Redenbachers, it's perfect. I hit the popcorn button on my microwave and it's perfect. Sometimes I have to hit like an extra 30 seconds to get some pop. Like yesterday, I think I had to add like 15 seconds, but I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go too far and burn it. So typically I wait and they tell you like when you're microwaving popcorn, they tell you like if it's like 3 seconds between pops, it's ready. But sometimes it's just like one little pop, and it's like you better take it out because otherwise you're going to burn your popcorn. So I need to eat better today. I want to talk about buying opportunities. I've alluded to this the last few days because I've been having buying opportunities just come at me from every which way, every direction. I've turned down like 80% of the opportunities that have come to me. And I even bought 2 collections last week. I think I have listed quite a few from when I drove down to Sterling. I've got a bunch of those singles listed. A lot of that stuff went in my quarter boxes and some in my dollar boxes. I just scanned some of the stuff that I bought a ton of, like 2022 and 2023 tops. A lot of like the color foils, golds, rainbow foils, some autographs, a lot of inserts. So normally I don't like tops, but when there's like hits, it's kind of fun, especially with like the inserts. And I know there's some of the inserts that like Acuna and Ohtani and Bichette and Vlad Jr. Like I can easily monetize. And so I think I'm going to be putting some player lots together here tonight. So there's some buying opportunities we're going to talk about. One in the thumbnail that I actually reached out about yesterday. Tell you about that. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for me to talk about buying opportunities, it might be another 30 minutes before we get there. So be patient. And somebody comment on a video. What video was it? It might have been, it was a sourcing video. So that person maybe he'll give me a second chance. He was not happy waiting 25 minutes before I got to sourcing. It's like, buddy, that's a short time in the waiting room. Usually it's 45 minutes to an hour before we get to the point. So maybe they come back, maybe they don't. That's the shtick we have going on here. Let's go to the chat. Kyle's in the house. What's up, Kyle? Good morning to you. Peter is here. Happy Wednesday. It's the hump day. Value box digger. I think we should start a challenge. In past years and months, people have always shared their numbers on active listings they got to. Let's see how many sold items we can all get in December. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, because active listings, now with our Rico printers and with our Car Dealer Pro, by the way, that little deal's still active. If you use promo code Cubs with Car Dealer Pro, when you sign up for any subscription, any paid subscription, you'll receive 500 free scans with that promo code Cubs. Check out cardealerpro.com. So it's easy to get to active listings. Like in the past when we were all like getting our phones and taking photos, and it was a little difficult to get those high numbers. Now we just scan, boom, boom, boom. You can get a couple thousand listings up in half a day. So active listings, it's like, yeah, there's really no race to see who has the biggest number, because, I mean, we shouldn't be bragging about active listings. We should be bragging about sales. That's the bottom line. How many sales? So there you go. We've got a December challenge. December what? Just 2 days away. 2 days away. See how many active listings we can all get in the month of December. It's funny, my sales, were just absolutely crushed it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then all of a sudden Monday comes, which I was expecting. It was below my expectation. I had low expectations, and it was even below those expectations on my Monday sales. After running, 3 days of 50% off, all of a sudden it goes back to regular price. Not many sales came in. Much better day yesterday. So hoping things rebound, especially with new inventory. I sold close to 2,000 cards, I think, over the weekend. So big sale, lots of people out buying, and now I've got to restock the inventory. So I did add about 50 listings last night, the Topps Chrome NPB. So I got some of those singles like color refractors listed. Today, I just scanned in some of the Topps foils. So I'll be listing those here this morning, and then I'll be continuing to ship, and eventually list. So that's the plan today. Shane's in the house. What's going on? Good morning to you. Value Box Digger says this challenge could also expand to traders on TCDB or anyone that wants to track and see who can move the most cards in a month. What do you think? I think I like it. What's a fun name for it? December. What rhymes with December? Nothing. Nothing rhymes with December. The December challenge. Let's see. Set cards in the house. Good morning. Went to Target late last night to see a restock. Ooh, wow. A month. Oh, I'm thinking, wow, a month or wait, Tuesday. A Tuesday restock, but last week, typically Target, at least in my area, Targets are all stocked on Fridays. But if it's Black Friday, they wait till Monday to stock, or sometimes they go Wednesday. So I bet they did the after holiday restock. Bought 2 of the NBA Hoops blasters, hit a Victor Wembanyama relic in the first pack of the first box. How about that for first pack luck? Victor Wembanyama. I've seen some of. I've actually sat down to watch just a few minutes of a Spurs game. It was last week sometime, just because I wanted to see. I've seen some of the yawn. Woo. It's a good one. I've seen some clips, some highlights of Victor Wembanyama. I want to see some in-game action, see how he looked. You know, that's the thing about highlights. Like, you put together your best clips, and it doesn't give you a sense of the broad scope when it comes to a player. Like, coaches don't want to see your fancy-dancy highlight reels. Your friends do, but recruiters don't. They don't care about that. They want the boring plays. What are you like on a 3rd down and 2 that didn't convert? How are you playing when you don't have the ball? You know, off the ball in basketball. That's what we did in when I was broadcasting early on. It's like, I'm gonna all these fancy plays that I'm getting all excited about. You sending them off to the Broadcasters Association. It's like, man, that was such a great call. That was such a great highlight reel. But that's not what they're looking for. They want just a random possession that results in a turnover. It's the second quarter and it's a 12-point game. Nothing happens. That's what they want. That's what they want to see. We get caught up in highlight reels. And so I wanted to see Victor Wembanyama. I wanted to see in between the highlights. I enjoy his highlight reels, but I want to see what he's doing when he's not highlighting the reels. But that's an awesome pull. Victor Wembanyama. I mean, the base cards are probably selling for quite a bit, right? Because I think, is this his first, like, in uniform, Spurs uniform rookie card? NBA Hoops. I don't think they call it NBA Hoops anymore, do they? I think it's just Hoops. Not NBA Hoops. Which isn't NBA. What's up, David? Good morning. Isn't NBA Hoops, isn't that kind of redundant anyway? Like, there's not going to be an NFL Hoops. There's not going to be an MLB Hoops. There's not going to be an NHL Hoops. So why should it be NBA Hoops? I guess you could have NCAA Hoops. How come they never did that? How come Panini never put out an NCAA Hoops? That would be fun. I guess they probably do in some form or fashion with Chronicles, right? The Panini Chronicles draft or whatever. So I guess NBA Hoops is kind of redundant. Just call it Hoops. We all know it's the NBA. They're not making CBA Hoops. They're not making FIBA Hoops, EuroLeague Hoops. Collector's Dream in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Philly Joe, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Steel Cards, good morning. Dalton's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Set Card says your trash and recycling schedule is the same as mine. Oh, hey, how about that? Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday is recycling. This is our recycling week. Big day. That's, I mean, you're getting old when you get excited because it's recycling week. You can purge the recyclables. You don't have to be strategic on what you put in the recycling. I don't have to like hide the fact that I'm putting recyclables in the trash can. My wife gets upset. Oh, no. That's a recyclable. Well, it doesn't fit. And then it's got to go next to the recyclable container in the garage. So last night I snuck away and it's like, okay, I can fit this, and this in the recyclable bin and still close it. This, I'm sorry, you're going in the trash. Brian Wolf, good morning. Eric, what's going on? Good morning from Grand Turk. Like the Caribbean? That sounds nice. Unless there's a Grand Turk, Idaho. That doesn't sound nice. Grand Turk, Idaho. Doesn't sound fun. Grand Turk, Caribbean? Sounds fun. Donald, what's going on? Good morning. Brian says, I had Cocoa Krispies yesterday. So good. See, I haven't had Cocoa Krispies in a long time. What's the other one? Cocoa Krispies and Fruity Pebbles. I haven't done Fruity Pebbles in a long time. I did. My dinner last night was Golden Grams. It was the last of the Golden Grams. So not only am I out of all the other stuff, I'm out of my cereal. But I'm like kind of in a cereal mood again. I go in phases. And then there will become a time. There will come a time. And I thought it was going to happen this time around because I bought like a half gallon of milk. And like yesterday, it's like, I haven't had any cereal. Like, is this the time where it's just like, I'm done with cereal? And then you have to throw away the milk because my wife doesn't drink milk. I don't drink milk unless I'm having it with cereal. Is this going to be the time where I'm just going to have to throw out an entire half gallon of milk? That's happened because I just get tired of cereal. So do I go and buy cereal? Because I think that time's coming. I have a very short shelf life of liking cereal. It goes in phases. It's kind of like the McRib. It's like, ooh, the McRib is back. Ooh, my Golden Grams are back. And then you have a couple and it's like, it's good. But it's like a declining scale. It's really good at first. The McRib comes back and you're like, oh, I want a second one. McRib. Love it. But by the way, McRibs suck. I don't know why people get a freaking rack of ribs. McRib. Ugh. Anyway, people that like them, they like them. That's good. Good for you. I think they suck. McRib, when they come back to people that like them, this is the best thing ever. Second one they have, probably not as good. Third, fourth, so on. That's why McDonald's stops the McRib, because now all of a sudden people come back and they buy them. That's how I am with cereal. That first bowl of Golden Grams, man, ooh, so good. I want a second bowl. And the second day, it's like, ooh, this is so good, but oh, it's not the same as yesterday, but it's still really good. And then the next day, and then by the time I get through the entire box, it's like, I think I'm done with cereal. And 6 months go by and it's like, I'm kind of craving cereal. So we'll see. But I don't think I'm going to get Golden Grams. And the last cereal that I ate was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maybe I'll find something else. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Cocoa Krispies. Value Box Digger. Yep, that's what my wife said. Do you remember me hitting you? I don't. Today is the day I cash in my buybacks. $870 worth for James. Woo! Woo boy. Woo boy. Now I see people on Twitter saying, well, how much wax did you have to buy to get $870 in buybacks? Not realizing that you can just go out and buy singles. So James, I'm curious, how much? See, James is contradicting himself. Here he says 870, and here he says 860. What is it? Either way, that's a lot of money in buyback. So I'm curious, what did you spend? Because if I know James, and I know James, I'm thinking you did buy some wax, but probably most of those you bought singles. Because that's when people come in with a wheelbarrow of the buybacks, they didn't open like $300,000 worth of, or actually it'd be more than that, because some people had like maybe, I don't know, I can't remember what some of the 50,000 or whatever. but they didn't buy like $500,000 worth of wax to pull, $100,000 in buybacks or whatever, 50,000, whatever the numbers are. They bought them singles, and you can buy, like, people buy them 50, 60% off. I would sell last year. I didn't open any Chrome update this year, but last year I did, or Chrome or whatever product they're in. Last year I did, and I pulled a few, like 3 or 4, and it's like, I don't really care. I'm going to sell them on eBay. And I think I sold them, what was the base were $20 in buyback. I think I sold them for like $16, which is what, 70, a little higher than, I know some people were like offering 50%, and people were like, yeah, I'll take the cash. And I guess if you have a whole bunch, like if I had like 30 of them, I'd probably take 50 to 60% instead of just selling them one at a time or whatever on eBay. I'm probably like, hey, I've got $1,000 worth of buybacks. Actually, if I had that much, I probably wouldn't just sell them. I'd probably use, if I had that much, $20 here, $20 there, like 40 or $60. It's like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'd rather just cash it in at 60%, 70%. So I'm curious, James, how much did you spend to get $860? Because some people would say, well, $860, I bet you had to spend $10,000 to get that. And that's wrong. Collector's Dream says they stopped recycling cardboard and bottles here. County said it was too expensive. Interesting. I haven't looked, because sometimes, like, they no longer accept here. They no longer accept plastic bag. Like, you used to be able to put bags on top, plastic bags on top. And because I know you can't put them in with other stuff because it'll like jam up the machines, but you could put them in like a bag. We all have, right? Don't we all have those plastic bags filled with bags that we never use, but we need to have them? My mom has a giant bag of plastic bags. Mom, have you ever used, like, Jesus, Mom, this is from Eagle Country Market that went bankrupt 20 years ago. So you used to be able to put those giant plastic bags on top, and they would they no longer take those. So now you have to take them to like the grocery store, Pick and Save, which is a Kroger company. You can take them to Pick and Save, and they will do whatever they do. I don't know. And it took the longest time to, like, I'm like, I can show you the news story where it says, it's like, no, they still take. I'm like, no, it was on the news. They don't take them. Dan got here late, and you're talking about snacking and Hot Pockets. The lady out of town for work. No. I'm just eating. I mean, I eat Hot Pockets fairly regularly, whether my wife's in town or not. Usually, if my wife's out of town, it's like Casey's Pizza. That's like when my wife's out of town. Good morning, Red Light 34. What's happening? Mike Hawk, what's up? Mike Hawk, good morning. Dan says, sup. Christian, just bought a huge Cecil Fielder collection from another collector. Cannot wait to blow up my want list. Very nice. I did a little more adding to my trading card database last night. And I think I am, where's my collection? So on the Chicago Cubs, so currently I've added a little over 8,000. I think I'm still at 8,000, like 8,100, I think. Chicago Cubs. 2,780 are unique. 2,780, which ranks me 2780. 2780. Because it's not updated on the rankings. 2780. That ranks me 258th among all collectors on trading card database for the Cubs. Has me at 263, but it hasn't updated because it only updates like once a day. So yeah, and I've got, let's see, I don't think that 8,376 total cards uploaded to trading card database. Now there's a few of those that are not part of the 1 million Cubs collection because there's, I think, some Topps Chrome NPB Some Dylan Cease White Sox cards. Probably a few other cards. Hall of Fame card collector, what's going on? Good morning to you. Value Box Digger says to James, make sure you bring him in a wheelbarrow. Yes, saw that. Wheelbarrow full of the buybacks. Maddie Ice, good morning. Johnny M is in the house. Good morning. Some of us are still listing the old-fashioned way, one item at a time. I cannot imagine going back and doing that. Now doing what I do, and I still do list, I list lots, one item at a time, and it's like I cannot imagine doing one item at a time. Now, this is also my full-time job now. If it was just a side hustle, then yes, I could absolutely see doing it. Because, it's not your full-time job. It's just, make a few bucks here and there. I could totally see it. But in my capacity, what I do, could not imagine. Shane says, that's me, Johnny. Good old one at a time. Harlan's in the house. Good morning. Max, remember November. Remember November, December. Words that rhyme with December. A December to remember was that November to remember? That was one of the wrestling pay-per-views. I think it was ECW pay-per-view. November to remember. Zach and Porter in the house. What's going on? Shaw Cards is here. What's up? Red Light says, be a manly man and get to the point. Right. Get to the point. Change your oil. Get to the point. Peter says November rhymes with December. Merle, good morning. Card hobbyist in the house. Value Box Digger says, I suppose they could make WNBA hoops. Yes, they could. WNBA hoops, NCAA hoops, FIBA hoops. Brian, good morning. I enjoy hoops over Donruss, but I'm a know-nothing, LOL. When it comes to basketball, I'd probably agree with. Yeah, I think I'm hoops. But I don't rip much. I'm a know-nothing also when it comes to basketball. Maddie Ice says, hit that like button. Thank you, sir. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Flawed Thinkers in the house. Good morning. Eric's in the, do you call it the Caribbean or the Caribbean? I call it the Caribbean. I wonder what they call it down in the either Caribbean or Caribbean. The Caribbean? Caribbean. Low Roller Scratcher says, you heard solar storm flare is coming November 30th. That's tomorrow. The GPS and radio might not work. Yes, the old solar flares. I am well aware of the solar flares because we had these when I worked in radio. We had the old solar. I remember the first. So this would have been what year? 2001. I think that was my first year in radio. And we had to be prepared for the solar flare. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, is this like some attack? What's going on? Eric says 82 and sunny. Oh, man, it's 21. And hey, the sun is shining. The sun is rising. But it's 21 degrees here. Tables are available for December, so let me know if you're in. You lost your spot, though. Somebody else has your spot. Let me see. Can I get you in right next to your spot? Possibly. I think I can get you. You won't be the first two tables. You'll be the next two tables. Brian says, has anyone pulled a Grady Dick rookie? I don't know. Has anybody? Captain Crunch. Once or twice a year. Captain Crunch I've talked about, it just tears up the roof of my mouth. Mark says, I have a box of Cookie Crisp. That's a cereal I haven't had in a while. Maybe I'll go for the Cookie Crisp. For those cheat days, the milk gets that chocolate chip cookie taste. Oh, yeah. Victor's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Max says, is cereal the only thing you have milk with? Probably. I don't drink milk. I don't think there's no, because if I don't eat cereal, I don't have milk in the house. So no, I don't, unless it's in like some recipe, which I'm not making stuff with recipes. My wife does, but I don't. So yes, cereal is the only thing that I have with milk. Johnny M says, how does it feel to be a trendsetter? I see many sellers on Evolution doing buy 5, get 50% off since you did it. Yeah. Setting trends. You can only eat Captain Crunch once or twice a year because you have to let the roof of your mouth heal in between eating. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? Tears the shit out of the roof of your mouth. Flood Thinker got in a couple breaks last night. Ended up getting a red in 23 Bowman Sapphire. Nice. And a red Jared Kelenic auto from 23 Chrome Update. Those are some hits. Very nice. James has some fat fingers. A lot of the base I found in quarter boxes. Look at that. And he's probably not paying 25 cents. Probably paying 15 cents. Flipping sports guys in the house. What's up? James says was buying the refractors for $25 a piece. And what are they, 40 or 50 on the buyback? Brian says vintage plastic bags sell for decent amounts on eBay, like the Walmart bags with the smiley face. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. You got to be kidding me. I got to look this up. Although the last time Brian reached out to me and said, hey, this sells really well, I looked and I'm like, holy shit, you're right. Walmart plastic bag. We're going to look this up on eBay. How about that? They have them on eBay. I can't believe people put this up. Like, and it's not like just 2 of them on eBay. There's a whole bunch. They're listed for like, oh, this one's only $3.99 with free shipping. There you go. You could flip. You could buy a 2001 vintage blue plastic Walmart shopping store bag roll bag, smiley face, for $3.99 with free shipping, and flip it, because some people are listing theirs for $10. Have any sold? Let's see if any have sold. Yep. People actually buy these. One sold for $5.99. Not too many have sold. What is wrong with people? Why would people want a used plastic Walmart bags from 20 years ago? Mark's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Baseball card curmudgeon is here. JG says, love these cards are now available for pre-COVID prices. Full circle on many of the cards I enjoy. Yay for the buyers. It's our time now. Have a great day. Yes, I'm actually finding more. And I think part of the reason I'm finding more opportunities, buying opportunities, is because I'm into this more. Like, this is my full-time deal. I'm setting up at card shows multiple times a month. I'm promoting a card show. Pre-COVID, I didn't do anything, right? I sold some stuff on eBay. That's it. I didn't even go to card shows. Pre-COVID, didn't even go to card shows. I went to the National, and I'd go to the local show every once in a while. That's it. So how do you find buying opportunities? Get out. Talk to people, network, blah, blah, blah. But, I'd find usually 1 or 2 really nice collections a year pre-COVID. COVID hits, and now everything is jacked up. You're either finding a bunch of 89 Fleer at crazy prices, or people trying to flip retail blasters for twice the price. And finally that ended. People realized we can't make money doing that anymore. I'm seeing a lot of modern stuff come up. There's still junk wax. It's been very eye-opening to see what is available for sale, because we still 30 years later have an overabundance of junk wax. 88 to 92. It's still like you see it everywhere. Still. 2021 NBA hoops, Panini Prism Draft, Topps, which I'm okay with Topps being printed to the moon. So much. Like, that's all that's out there. There's like, I would love to see 1996 to 2016 because you just don't see it. It's like, oh my God, more 2021 Prism. Oh my God. I've seen 2022 Bowman. Oh my God. I'm going through some of my 25-cent boxes, like the old stale stuff. And it's all like Bowman. So much of it. But there's a lot of buying opportunities out there. So I want to get through the chat real quick and talk about what the account that's in the thumbnail to this video. There was a big collection, and the title was a little misleading. Where we at? Baseball card curmudgeons in the house. Good morning to you. Oh, wait, we saw that. So there we go. Just George is here. Good morning to you. Good evening, I should say. Billy Ocean pronounced it Caribbean. That was so he could make it rhyme with other things. Like Queen. Dalton, I have a Grady Dick rookie for sale. I have some Grady Dick like Bowman U, I think. I don't know. Low Roller, talking about the solar flares. Value Box Digger. Thing is, you have to be strategic about the 50% off sale. Otherwise, it doesn't truly spike sales, in my opinion. I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Cooter says, I can't stand Cookie Crisp since I ate so many boxes collecting the 84 Ralston Purina cereal cards. Yes. Yes. Here I've been using my plastic bags for cleaning up after the dog on walks. Been costing myself money. Just George. People buying Walmart bags. People dumb. Brian says, when I go to estate sales, I find everything except sports cards. Just George says, dogs and cats smart. Dan, good morning. I have 2 shows in the next 2 weeks and posted a collections wanted on Craigslist. Let's see what happens in December. By the way, I'm glad Dan mentioned this because this is something I never talk about because I don't do this. I have once, and the results made me not want to do it anymore. But a lot of dealers that I talk with, they put collections wanted on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, and guess what they get? They get some really good collections sometimes. The time that I did it, I got a bunch of people wanting to sell me their 88 tops. And so I just got tired of dealing with that. And so I don't do, but that's a good way. I mean, they just come to you, post something on Craigslist or Facebook, and boom, watch the 88 tops come in. Flipping Sports Guy agrees with Value Box Digger. Dan says, do you think it's awkward or inappropriate to ask a dealer if they have more bargain box inventory at home for sale? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If they have like a bunch of stuff and you want like, hey, would you sell this in bulk? Absolutely. I would love it if somebody asked me, as long as they want to pay a fair price. Brian Van Beek, what's up? Nothing wrong with a lot of junk wax out there. Makes it a nice entry point for new collectors. That's a good point. Dan says, I've been selling through 2 cases of 1990 Score Football Hobby Box, 4 packs at auction, and they sell between $70 and $90 shipped each time for 4 boxes for the past 5 weeks. Nice. Value Box Digger says, Dan, my latest $20K pickup at a show was because the dealer next to the guy said, if you want to get rid of bulk, they will take bulk. Dealer said, perfect, let's trade at the next show. And he brought it all. There you go. That's what it's all about, making connections. It is crucial, critical, absolutely. Donald says, the Flipping Sports Guy, I've been watching your YouTube videos, and they are great. Let's see. Where are we at? I'm not considering, I do enough card shows. I think I talked about that yesterday. I do enough card shows that flea market would be different, customers, but not at this time. Mark says, what is your CDP code? I'm a subscriber, but asking for a friend. Cubs, CUBS, promo code Cubs. Value Box Digger also says, Flipping Sports Guys videos are great. I do agree. I also found a dealer to trade hockey cards to. I told him he had to go to Madison and sell soccer and hockey. John Keating in the house. I traded 150,000 junk wax era cards for a store credit. I am amazed people pay anything for this stuff. It's everywhere. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Brian says, good morning. Been a while. What's up? Good morning. Flipping Sports Guy says CDP is annoying me. I downgraded my account 2 weeks ago and still waiting for the refund. I know there's some glitches with that. I think Value Box Digger had the same issue a year ago or so. I'm not sure why that is so difficult. That is frustrating. I would be frustrated as well. Good morning, Stuke. What's happening? So there's plenty of buying opportunities out there for bulk. Like we've mentioned here in the chat, making connections, networking, going to card shows, post a wanted on Marketplace or Craigslist. There's many options, many opportunities to find this bulk. You just have to go out and look for it. So I've been looking at Facebook Marketplace a little bit more here lately, and I found something on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. Let's see if I can find it here. It's what's in the thumbnail here. So it was the title was 450,000 plus, so about half a million cards. Sports card collection, MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, 1970s to 2000s. And I'm like, wow. So I'm scrolling through. The guy looks like he made some homemade shelves. I can't really read. It's a little blurry to see. So it's just a bunch of boxes. But I see like 1997 football. There's some 87, 88 Fleer basketball, 90 hoops. Here's more 90s stuff. Those look like they're in top load. This is like 2000s. So I read the description. Looks like it's I don't know if he added this after our conversation or not. But anyway, here's the description. I'm finally ready to part ways with my childhood sports card collection. There are, no kidding, 450,000 plus cards here. There are 84 5-row boxes, 4 4-row boxes, and 30 plus 800 count boxes. The collection spans baseball, football, basketball, and a little hockey. There might be some random non-sports mixed in. It's about 40% baseball, 30% football, 20% basketball, and 10% miscellaneous. About 60% of the collection is fully sorted, collated, and grouped into sets. There are many complete sets in this group. The rest of the collection are made up of mixed boxes, which I just don't have the time to sort through into the main collection. The years range from primarily the 1980s and 1990s. There are some boxes, partial sets pre-1980s, and some newer into the 2000s. There's about one box of each of football and basketball modern cards with relics, autos, serial numbers. So this is an addition to what he had listed in the description yesterday. I also have boxes and boxes of supplies, sleeves, top loaders, and a majority of the 5,000 count boxes were bought new in the last few years and in great shape without any markings, except for the small label on the lid. I am fully aware a large chunk of this is from the, quote, junk wax era. The goal with the collection was to collect sets and discard common duplicates. There are certainly a fair amount of common duplicates left, but a large chunk of the collection are complete, incomplete sets without duplicates. There are countless Hall of Famers in here, inserts, parallel sets, rookies, etc. I just don't have the time to piece this all out and hoping to find a collector dealer who is willing to take the whole lot for a good price. I honestly don't know what is a fair price for such a large, diverse collection. I am throwing $10,000 out as a starting point, but that's way too high. As a starting point and expect to negotiate once someone has an opportunity to look and assess. Please reach out with serious inquiries to schedule a time to look at the collection. By the way, this collector is in the Milwaukee area. And obviously, this is a local pickup due to the sheer volume. A small U-Haul will be needed. I am not interested in parting out small pieces. I might entertain selling large groups like all of a given sport separately, for example. So I reached out to this seller, and I was just curious because it did say 1970s to 2000s. Basically, most of the pictures just show the sheer volume in box form, which, again, it's nice to put like one picture when you're selling. If you want to sell bulk, it's kind of hard, I understand, to get an idea, but try to have a fair assessment picture-wise what's in there. Because boxes, it's like, what's in here? And you're going to feel, if you're a seller, you're going to field multiple questions. Are there any Jordans? Any Tom Brady rookies? Any blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. So I see this. I'm curious. 70s to 2000s. So my question was curious about the collection. Are there any higher end cards here, such as a Tom Brady, Mike Trout rookies? Has that stuff been picked out? So he actually did give me, this seller actually did give me a really good response. He says, thanks for reaching out. No, the years are mostly from 1990 to 1998. Wah, wah. So when I read that, it's like, oh, I'm out. The collection is mostly sets or partial sets, so there will be a ton of common cards along with the star cards of those sets. I know a lot of people who have reached out are looking for a quick flip, high-value stuff, which I'm pretty sure you won't find here. This is more about the bulk. If there is interest in that, let me know what your going rate is for 5,000 count box of commons to know if we're in the same ballpark. So I said, thanks. I'm a bulk buyer, but 1990s I would have to pass on. Appreciate the info. So, if it's a majority of 1990s, like even stars and Hall of Famers, like you've got to have something of a quick flip. Like I understand when you're buying bulk, it's not about the quick flip, but you have to have something in there that can produce a return. And his starting point at $10,000 is a non-starter. For example, now that's sorted. There's I don't know what's in there, but just from a number standpoint, I sell roughly 200,000 cards for 500. So do the math, and that you're looking at in the $2,000 to $2,500 range. So if the price was starting at 5,000, okay, it might trigger me to go look at it, and I think we're a little closer. A $10,000 starting point, I think that's just nobody's going to. I think for bulk, I pay pretty well for bulk. So it's going to be a tough sell. It's really hard to sell bulk. It's not easy. And especially when you have that volume at that price. Again, you're not looking for a quick flip. You're not going to spend $10,000 to sit on a bunch of commons for a while. So that's kind of where I was, looking like, it's going to be tough. I do like the fact that they're sets and they're somewhat sorted. But at the same time, like those years is a big turnoff. Those years is a big turnoff. And from a buyer standpoint, and I know this has nothing to do with, any seller. Like if you have the expense of going to pick it up and, a U-Haul rental and all that, like that's on the buyer. But it's an added expense where, okay, I've got to figure in, I'm going to spend X amount plus I've got to fuel this U-Haul up. I've got to rent the U-Haul, drive over there. It's going to take me, most of a day to get this all loaded and unloaded. I don't have space for another 500,000 cards. So I would probably, if I were to buy a collection like this, I would have to rent storage unit at least for a short time before I could move some more bulk myself. So it would be, but if you're in the Milwaukee area and you're interested, go to Facebook Marketplace and it's there. So let's go to the chat real quick. Where are we at? Low Roller Scratcher wants to know what CDP stands for. Card Dealer Pro. Brian Baker, good morning. What's happening? Value Box Digger says never downgrade. It will suffer to work itself out in future months. Hopefully that has been addressed, but I canceled completely 6 months ago because of the issues. Flipping Sports Guy says billing is atrocious. Let's see. Last week I emailed. They said it takes 4 to 5 business days. This was after about 4 already. I emailed today, so it's been about 8 business days. Baseball Card Curmudgeon says, John, I've been collecting since 1977. I'm 52 now. My guess is that junk wax era cards fuel a large part of the hobby still. It was my heyday, and I love these cards. It's great stuff. So much variety. Flipping Sports Guy says, the worst part, you don't get any email confirmation. Let's see. Mike says, I have a friend that is. Let's see. Where are we at? John says that seller seems like a stand-up person. The description is very thorough. Absolutely. The seller was very thorough with the description and with his response. Until he got to the price, I would pay $1,000. That's probably right around the point that I was at. $2,000 would be depending on what 1,000's right, like knowing what we know based on the description, I would be right with you at 1,000. I would potentially go to 2,000 depending on what was in there. If there was, I don't even know what sets from 90 to 98, but potentially would go up to 2,000, but that's probably my max, especially figuring the additional costs that go into it for me. I don't want to spend too much over that. I figured CDP would at some point reach out to try to address this issue and keep a customer, but they didn't. So, oh well, I use templates. It costs $0 a month. Mark says, thought the same thing, John. Sounds like a cherry-picked collection of junk wax era cards. Mike says, just wish I could do more of that. Let's see. Not all FOFers are created equally. I think he means Hall of Famers. Yeah. That's the thing. When I see Hall of Famers, does that mean there's a bunch of Harold Baines and who else is in the Hall of Fame that, a lot of the Hall of Famers are from the junk wax era and, they're 1990 Topps Nolan Ryan cards. Do they sell? Yes, but it's certainly not a quick flip. Baseball card curmudgeon. I agree. 450,000 in bulk would go for 450 to 1,500, even if the value is 10,000. It's the sheer volume. When you're selling bulk, it's just, there's not buyers that want 500,000 cards. And when they do, they're not going to pay that much money. Let's see. Not Hall of Famers are created equally. Any Hall of Famer after the 70s is a glorified common for the most part. Completely agree. Let's see. Value Box Digger says, don't rent the U-Haul until you view the collection. Look at chasing cardboard. Yeah, right? Yeah. It was cherry-picked. And it seems like that's, although if they're complete sets, but if it's a bunch of 1992 Topps, well, I guess Derek Jeter, 93 Topps, but the thing is, you're like, 90 to 98. So you're thinking 90 Leaf, 93 Topps. You get there, 96 SP, Jeters. And then you get there and it's like, I don't have the 96 SP. I don't have the 93 Topps. I don't have the 90 Leaf. I don't have the 89 Upper Deck. And you're looking at a bunch of 91 Topps and 91 Fleer and 91 Donruss. It's 400,000, 91 Donruss and Fleer. Let's see. Where are we at? James says, dude, shooting for the stars at 10 Gs. Absolutely. And I think that's like, there's a point where you should price above what you realistically want. But there's the diminishing returns or whatever. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's a point to where that's going to backfire and you're going to lose people that have a genuine interest, but they see $10,000 and they're like, I'm going to pay 1,000 for that. That guy might take 1,000. We don't know. He might take 1,000. I didn't even get, when I saw 90s, I'm like, I don't even want to, your starting price is 10,000. It's all 90s. We're not even close. If he had that listed for $1,000, I would probably be like, I'll be over this afternoon. But at 10,000, I don't know what he wants. What's realistic? And he's going to say, serious, and he capitalized serious. So my thought is he's not going to take anything less than 5,000. So it sounds like it's his childhood collection. So there's certainly this is kind of psychoanalysis here, but some of the wording he uses makes me think he wants close to $10,000 for this collection. He starts it off, I am finally ready to part ways. So he is had a difficult time to make this decision to put his cards for sale. With my childhood sports collection, there is emotions attached to these cards. They're not commodities to him. This is his childhood, and he's finally ready to part ways. So that first sentence right there, I am finally ready to part ways with my childhood sports card collection, that right there tells me he's very emotionally attached. And so his price is probably, he's not willing to go too far. So I read into that. And it's like, well, I think he's probably fairly realistic and is not going to come off that $10,000 number. Now, You don't know if you don't ask. But all of those, I need a U-Haul. I need to rent a storage unit. I have so much of that stuff right now. I have 3 million cards in my basement. Well, 1 million aren't for sale. I have 2 million cards in my basement, a lot of which are from that era. Why do I need more? The starting price, he's emotionally attached. Would it be fun? At $1,000, it would be fun. At $10,000, it's a non-starter. Flawed Thinker says, I'm currently browsing the CDP site and saw they have an Autoloader 1000. It looks pretty comical, but I guess it works. It does work. It's not made by Card Dealer Pro. It's made by Laxus Innovations, which, by the way, makes the card holders and the risers for your Ricoh printers. They are engineered for the Fujitsu / Ricohs. So they had, I don't know if anybody was around at the National. They did have them, and they were showing them off at the JP. I think it's JP from Laxus Innovations was there with the Card Dealer Pro guys, Collects guys, and Don from Ricoh. Yeah, it works pretty good. I don't have one. I don't use one. I just feed 30 to 40 cards at a time, and that's good enough for me. Nolan Ryan cards sell. Paul Molitor cards do not. They have the same plaque. There you go. Mike Hawk says, you guys are the only friends I have. Johnny says, I pay a penny per 3 cards for that stuff. Majority goes straight to Goodwill for the write-off at a nickel per card. Value Box Digger says, I wonder if that dining room is still full of the bulk they denied your offer on, and then the market has done this. That's a good, I often think about that. I'm like, and sometimes John and I had decided to go in and give them an offer together. And then we were going to split the collection up. And, our offer, I was like, as the days wore on, it's like, this is going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to take some time to recoup. It's going to take even more time to divvy this up fairly between the two of us. It still would have been a good value for us and for them. Because I don't think they had at that time, I think our offer was the best on the table. But I think there were outside forces, family, that thought they could probably get more for it. And, that's probably, if they put that up now, our offer was $7,500. I bet if they were selling it today, like right now, if they hadn't sold it and they're like, okay, we're going to do this again, I doubt they get a $5,000 offer on all that stuff. And so now in looking back, it's like, would we have still made money at $7,500 at the time? We would have made money. It would have taken some time. It would have been fun because there was a lot of cool stuff in there. But as time wore on, the values of many of the cards dropped. And, but that sometimes things don't work out. Hall of Fame card collector wants to be friends. We're all friends on Hobby Evolution. John says, I'm not sure my collection would garner $10K from many buyers, and I have some cards. That's the thing. It's like $10,000. Once you get to that mark, I mean, you've got to have like $30K worth of cards to get $10K from anybody, really from anybody. Brian Baker says, when you're not in need of inventory, it's easy to walk away from that price. But if you need cards, you at least inquire to get a realistic idea of where he's at. That's a really good point. Like, to me, I have so much excess that I can walk away and not. But if you need inventory, you're not sitting on 2 million cards. Then, and you need inventory, then yeah, absolutely. Like, feel them out. Because for $1,000, if I didn't have the inventory, I'd probably pay $2,000 just to get some inventory. Well, I don't know, maybe not, but I guess it all kind of depends. It depends on our situations and all that stuff. But if I didn't have 2 million cards, I also would have space for another 500,000, so I wouldn't have to deal with that. But you are exactly correct. If I needed inventory, I probably would say, based on, here's my price, I'd do 1,000 on sight unseen. I'll come, and then he's probably, well, you have to come look at it because it's really good. It's my childhood collection. I'm finally ready to get rid of it. And then you go look at it and be like, my offer's still $1,000. Let's see. Baseball card curmudgeon says, I specialize in the 1980 to 2005 cards. I spend a lot of money on supplies, penny sleeves, boxes, and top loaders. It costs more for the supplies to curate properly, but it's tremendous fun and time. Sounds like a hobby, right? That's the thing about supplies are expensive. Where are we at? Value box digger. Do people really write off 5 cents a card on Goodwill donations? I think somebody in the chat said that I think most people do a penny a card. It's very, and I talked to my accountant about this, and it's kind of a slippery slope, and I'm not going to talk to him. I mean, writing off, I think you do 5 cents a card, you're probably not going to get audited, but I don't know. Sometimes you got to be careful with that stuff. Let's see. Where are we at? Value box figure ads. They wouldn't get a big offer because wasn't a lot basketball. Basketball cards are dead. I think the in-season tournament crap created some of the basketball's been dead since the pandemic. Basketball died in the summer of 2021. Because I bought some basketball slabs and I probably broke even or took a slight loss on what I bought at the National in 2021. And I'm thinking, hey, if I hold this until the season starts, I'm going to make a bunch of money. And I didn't. And it just never recovered. Basketball never recovered. This collection, I think, was mostly baseball. Oh, shit. Where's it at? He put percentages down. I mean, he was very thorough with what was in there. 20% basketball. It was 40% baseball, 30% football, 20% basketball, 10% hockey and miscellaneous. Johnny says, Facebook Marketplace sellers in New York, all they have gold and want way too much. Hard to find a good deal. Johnny M says, just make sure you have receipts. Been audited twice. That's not fun. Ended up paying 10% of what the IRS was asking for both times. Wrote a check with a smile on my face. Love it. Andy Mack says, I'm amazed at collectors selling huge collections on Facebook groups and asking 70 to 80% comps. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Baseball card curmudgeon max write-off for Goodwill annually is $500 without an appraisal. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, $500. Shane says basketball has always been the worst selling sport. There was a time, 2020, man, basketball was the number one ticket. Basketball was crazy hot in 2020, and actually by the time the season ended, by the time the 2021 season ended, that's when it crashed. But 2020 and early 2021, oh my God, I made a ton of money selling basketball in late 2020 and early 2021. It was crazy hot. And then it just got crazy cold. Low Roller says he should set up the Madison Card Show. Absolutely. There you go. So that's what I had for today. There are buying opportunities out there. Look at Facebook Marketplace. Look at Craigslist. Go to your local card shows. Network with dealers, and you can always find good deals. Basketball ended when Zion got chunky. Yeah. Hit the like button if you haven't already. How about this? We had 90 live viewers. That's close to a record. What was our record? Like 101, 103? I can't remember. I wrote it on the whiteboard that I can't remember where the whiteboard went, but it's around here somewhere. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, get 500 free scans from Card Dealer Pro when you use promo code CUBS, CUBS, and make sure to hit up my eBay store. There it is, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price, you'll save 25% at checkout. I'll be adding some stuff like this. Green foils. Who is that? Bobby Dalbeck. So I'll be adding some Topps foils and color later today to my eBay store. Next Madison Card Show is December 30th. December is going to be a busy month. I'll be setting up at 3 card shows in the month of December. My next, nothing going on this weekend, but the following Saturday, I'll be down in Janesville at the Janesville Card Show. Hey, if you're looking for bulk, I have bulk to sell you if you're here in Wisconsin or Northern Illinois. I'll have my $50 boxes. It's going to be basically dime cards is what it is. I had somebody reach out to me last week ahead of the Madison Card Show and asking, and they're basically my cherry picked quarter boxes. Basically dime boxes. I don't know if I'll bring out the dime boxes again. I don't know if I did that in Janesville. We'll see. Maybe I'll do dime boxes and save the quarter boxes for St. Charles. Do just kind of get rid of my bulk in Janesville next week. So that's in Janesville Saturday. I think it's December 9th. Saturday, December 16th, will be in St. Charles, Illinois at the Kane County Fairgrounds. And then Saturday, December 30th, back at the Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Tables are booking fast, which I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised how fast tables are going for the December show because I have a couple regulars that are like, I'm going to take December off. So we filled those spots right away. So if you're looking for a table at the Madison Card Show, reach out to me ASAP as those tables fill fast. That's what I had. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, all that good stuff. Dairyland Picker, Denny is with us. I love the thumbnail Schlitz. I've got some Schlitz coasters, and I put a couple. I found them when I was going through one of my tubs, and I'm like, I'm going to put these in my rec room. Now I just need, they sell Schlitz. I'm going to have to, I don't think I've ever drank Schlitz. So maybe I'll pick up some Schlitz this weekend, and I'll have to do a little photo op with my Schlitz coasters. Shane says, I've sold 90s inserts for basketball, but new stuff, no. Right now, I mean, new stuff was hot in 2020 and 2021. The last 2 years, it's cold as ice. I don't sell much basketball. But in 2020 and 2021, basketball was fire. Basketball was absolute fire. Collector's Dream says, definitely a good time for collectors. Yes, it is. Collector's Dream is going to a card show Saturday. We'll do a video. Excellent. Stuke says, I'm lucky that I've never drank Schlitz. And it is fun to say Schlitz. What's the, isn't there a rhyme with Schlitz? Schlitz rhyme. Oh, maybe not. I thought there was a Schlitz rhyme. Schlitz, shits. Does Schlitz give you the shits? I don't know. All right. That's enough for me. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. If it is your trash day, today's Wednesday, get that trash to the curb. So have a great Wednesday. Happy hump day. We'll see you again tomorrow.